after weeks of triumphs.
I absolutely love that.
Magnificent. Well done.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
This is brilliant.
And tribulations.
Oh, shit.
Come on, Mary.
I think this is the worst dish you've done for us.
After tears of joy.
Thank you very much.
And sadness. The search for the country's top amateur cook has come down to just 3 people.
I never thought I'd be here in the final. This competition has changed my life.
We're so at the end, so close to it. You know, you can nearly taste the prize.
I'm actually really looking forward to getting into the kitchen and cooking my food. It's just been the best opportunity I've ever had in my life.
Earlier this week, they were all put through their paces in some of Ireland's 1 and 2 Michelin star restaurants.
So listen, 3 of you, fantastic job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very good. Very well.
Tonight, Bridin, Mike and Mary face one last challenge as they enter the final battle to become Ireland's first ever MasterChef champion.
I was born in Waterford in 1982. My earliest memories are really closely linked to food. My 4th birthday was the giant chocolate cake that I got to eat. Going further back than that, I actually remembered, there was one instance where I was in a nappy and, sitting on the grass eating strawberries. I remember the dog beside me, I remember the whole thing, and from that day, I've had this obsession with strawberries. Throughout my life, I kind of punctuate big events with food. So I remember, what I've eaten when and how I felt at that time. And when I eat it again, it brings back that same memory. So I think when I eat strawberries, it brings me back to a time when I felt things were simple and easy. My granny was one of the original Flavins. No one will ever make porridge like my granny did. She'd cook it in a bain-marie in the oven overnight. All the grandchildren would come around every Sunday, have porridge. And any other children that were around, she would literally feed. It was very, very sweet. I think it was the highlight of her week as well as mine.
It was by osmosis that she actually got interested in cooking because she saw me doing it and she just learned, I suppose, as I did from my mother. So she's kind of just constantly been somebody who was interested in anything to do with art, and her hands, just amazing hands. Whenever we were cooking, Mary would always add something quite different and individual. You'd think you had the dish finished and then she'd say, maybe we should add something to this, and it could be a herb, it could be a spice, but it always lifted it. From very early on she was able to do that, so I always appreciated having her around.
I met Mike, my husband, when I was 19. I'm kind of an all or nothing kind of person, and I was mad about him from word go. There was never, I didn't really doubt for a second.
She's a wonderful person, so kind, and actually we have a phrase for Mary. I don't actually call Mary Mary at any time. I always call her Mare Love, because you don't know Mary until you know Mare Love, which is like, how she can give you a big hug and how she can, she just lets you in. She's just such an open person and a loving person.
I think the moment I actually fell in love with him was when he cooked me a really, really special meal. He cooked goat cheese tart for starter, stuffed courgette romaine, and a chocolate mousse for dessert. It was the first time someone had cooked a special meal for me alone. I was really, really touched when I saw the effort that he had gone to for me. I think it probably was the moment I kind of realised, how great he was, and I kind of fell in love with him. So.
It all actually revolved around food, ironically enough. When we were in Paris, even though we were students and we didn't have very much money, we'd always try and go and push the budget out for the meal and go to somewhere that was really nice.
My best memory from Paris was actually a day where my brother brought me to this restaurant, and it was a Michelin-starred restaurant. It was sensational, and I think that really was a turning point for me as well. I just kind of went, wow, food can be this good.
Hello, how are you?
I said to Mike that it was my first paycheck from work. I would take him and Mum to Ellen de Rose in Paris, but my paycheck wasn't big enough, so we never got there. But if I win MasterChef, I'll take him, and I'll take him and Mum, and we'll go to Ellen de Rose. I think some girls have a shoe fetish or a handbag fetish, and mine is definitely cookbooks. I love nothing better than just going into Hodges Vegas and sitting down on a Saturday afternoon for 3 or 4 hours with cookbooks. Just really, really relaxes me, and I love it. And I do it a lot. I rarely actually follow the recipes because I just like to take the methods they use and work on the combinations and just use it as a source of inspiration. I think Mike is going to kill me if I buy another cookbook, and I will not show him the two I bought today. Absolutely not. He'll actually kill me, like. I work as the business manager to the CEO of Aircom, which is a great job. I love it. At work, I'm more comfortable wearing, you know, I wear a suit and I try to be very professional. And then I suppose in my private life, I'm a little bit more softer than people realise. The stress I endure in work, it's quite different because I know how to manage it, whereas this competition has thrown up things that have just been very, very different kinds of challenges. I think it's been an incredible journey, I really do. You know, I started off, I was very, very nervous in my first audition, and I remain quite an anxious person. I think that's in my nature. But I've managed to channel that, I think, in a more positive way, and I'm confident going into the final now and that I'll be able to deliver my 3 dishes. But I really have not slept properly in 6 weeks.
I'm hugely proud of Mary getting to this point in the competition because it's a competition about a lot of things. It's a competition, of course, about cooking, but there's a lot of confidence that comes with it, and I think she's learned a huge amount.
I'm so proud of how far she's gotten already, but I think that you know, the effort that she's put in, I'd really like to see her win the competition.
I think for me, food, you know, it makes me happy. It's the single thing that I do really look forward to it every day. You know, when I'm in the kitchen or I'm doing something, it's what makes me tick.
If I were MasterChef, I'd love to go down to the west coast of Ireland and open a good seafood restaurant using farmers around the region, you know, sourcing ingredients that are on our doorstep. There's a whole ocean out there with phenomenal ingredients in it, you know, down to the basic mackerel, which is an amazing fish when it's caught fresh. And I just love to be able to showcase that and cook it simply. I love working with food. And I love not only creating the dish, but serving the dish. My passion is not only for me to eat, it's for my family to eat and my friends to eat, and I'd love the public to eat it. And it's always been a pipe dream of ours that, you know, the two of us, you know, could move down here, set up business and have a nice little restaurant, a little earner for us. I mean, it's what a place for the kids to grow up in. I actually worked in London for many years, and I was overseeing an operation there when there was a bar and there was a restaurant, and it was fantastic. I learned a lot from it, gained a lot of experience, but it was just so hectic and such a burnout job. You're going in at 10 in the morning and you're leaving at 1 o'clock the next morning, but you're not going home. You're going into Chinatown that was at our back door, having a dinner, then maybe go to a late nightclub, a late bar, and then you're getting home at 6 or 7 in the morning to get 2 or 3 hours sleep to start all over again. And that was, we did that 6 days a week. It was just crazy. It was time to go, and I got offered another position and took it. I met my wife while I was in the airline industry. Olivia was an air steward for Virgin Express, and I had spotted her there and never quite got to speak to her. And I met her one night in a nightclub in Ennis, and the rest is history.
I'm so proud of Mike. He's just been working so hard and just so committed to it all. He rings us every day, no matter how busy he is. So I know he'd be starting some mornings at 7 or 8 o'clock, but it could be 11 o'clock at night, but he would still always ring home just to make sure me and the kids and everything are okay.
Here you go. I've been away from my wife and kids for so long, and that's the toughest thing, because myself and my wife have spent, I think, maybe one night apart since we were married, so this we're not used to. Lily Marie is still only new with us, only 12 weeks old. I wasn't sure she'd recognise me, I've been away for so long, but she did this morning, so she's great.
Well, Mike, I think, gets kind of sad about it when I'm talking to him, because even when he saw her today for the first time in a couple of weeks, she's grown so much. So it's very hard for him. He feels like he's missing kind of the earlier parts of her little changes. You know, she's smiling a lot now, which she wasn't kind of only a few weeks back, so it's a big difference for him like that.
I'm currently with Extravision, and I oversee most of the stores in the Munster area. An average day for me, you know, it's usually email checking in the morning, dealing with some paperwork, but then I like to get on the road. I have 18 stores, so I like to visit them all as regularly as possible and try and get into them and make sure that they get enough visits and everybody's comfortable with what they're doing, everybody knows what's going on in the business. I know I've grown so much in this competition. I suppose one of the biggest things that's grown is confidence. And I've learned to relax more and really trust my instincts. I think that's the biggest development I've had is, you know, following recipes too tightly instead of going, well, actually, I can taste food. I do understand balance. You know, my instincts are kind of right. It's just been the most amazing journey, and it was everything that I wished MasterChef Ireland would be.
I always thought that he could reach the final. He's got an imagination on him, he enjoys thinking about food, different ideas, and he's a very determined person and very committed person as well. You know, when he decides he's going to do something, he will nearly always see it through to the end.
We're getting to the end of the road now. You know, I've one big challenge ahead of me, and that's to go for the win, try and win this competition, you know, and bring something home to my family. And then, you know, I have the rest of my life to spend with them.
So I was born in Templemore in 1983, and I was born into a family which already had 3 running around, and then there was 3 more after me. Yeah, being part of a family of 7 was manic, to say the least. We would have been out picking potatoes and picking carrots from the garden, and you always knew what ingredients were and where they came from. And then, you know, shelling peas by the bag load and blanching vegetables and putting them into storage in the big box freezer. You know, that was all very much part of how we grew up. There just wasn't convenience food. Everything was homemade and was either from our own garden or was from our uncle's garden or neighbours' gardens or wherever it came from, or, you know, maybe the local fruit and veg guy and whatever. And it was all shot locally. I suppose it's like this sort of things they're trying to bring back into society now. Like, that's what my mum stood for and still stands for. Cooking Dylan's dish was the scariest, and like, you were handed a rabbit. And they were like, so have you ever done rabbit before? And I was like, well, no, Mam's landed this up in the chamber. She normally just shoves it in the oven, like, and it comes out in one hole. Yeah, you spit the pellets out as you eat it, you know.
Well, I always swore that whatever was cooked was to be eaten, that was it. We didn't have such a thing as a range of foods. It wasn't a restaurant, I always told them. It was their home. So if you didn't want to eat what was served up, you had your bread and jam to fall back on.
I do tend to try everything. I'll put my hand to anything. So I would have played camogie and Gaelic football and badminton and all sorts of sports, and represented Tipperary, and, you know, went on and won All Ireland. Yeah, I love the sports, really loved it. That's my competitive edge coming out. That's where it came from. I am quite a determined person. I like to achieve things in life, and I think that's important, to set targets for yourself.
Well, I'm never surprised at what Bridin does. When she would set her sights on something, she would follow it through. And, you know, that sense of adventure and wanting to do her best. She has no inhibitions, and she is just very, very confident, and has been all along, even as a little child.
I'm married to Brian. We've been married 2 years, and he's the love of my life, and he's great. He's an amazing support. So, yeah, hopefully we'll stay together forevermore. Live happily ever after.
I would describe Bridin as a lot of fun and very energetic. She's a very caring person, very thoughtful. She's a high achiever, and she tries to get as much as she can out of every single day, and she does more in a day than most people do in a week.
He's a great critic as well. When he sits down, when I hand him a plate of food, he rates everything I do out of 10. So if I get a 10 out of 10 from Brian, I know I'm going to get a 10 out of 10 from the lads. So he's a good critic. He knows what he wants, absolutely. That's how he got me. At the moment, I'm working as a senior occupational therapist in the National Rehabilitation Hospital. I work in brain injury rehabilitation, and I work with adults mainly. So, what you have to think about your feet now. So think about your feet first before you stand.
Make sure they're straight.
Make sure they're straight.
Yeah.
Can you feel them both on the ground?
Yes, yeah.
You're not using your hand. Is your hand any good when you're transferring?
No.
It's for nothing.
For nothing.
Don't push off your wheelchair, yeah? What I do with brain injury, I'd be treating patients who perhaps have had brain tumours or traumatic injuries after car crashes or strokes, and they come into us, and my real job is to try and get them back as independent as possible and get them back living the life that they want to live. And now I want you to breathe out and relax, and try and think of your fingers relaxing. Think of your fingers, nice and long fingers. I suppose, in a funny way, the most rewarding part of the job is being there to support somebody when they're going through the toughest time of their life. A lot of what they're going through is coping and adjusting to a life that will never be the same again. It's a really difficult thing to go through, and to be there for somebody when they're going through that is very important, I think.
So where'd you go to get your new top and runners?
Lifestyle, yeah, €70.
Lovely.
I think there's rarely opportunities in your life where you've got, you know, true joyful experiences that don't come with anybody. You know, like weddings and babies being born, and you know, just these happy experiences in life. And I think the MasterChef competition has been one of those things. It's been a really, really positive, uplifting experience.
Oh, I'm really, really proud of her. I definitely am, because the fact that she has reached her potential as a person, and whatever she has learned even from this competition, that in turn will be, I'm sure, threaded back into the next stage of her life.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely think Bridin can win it. When Bridin sets her mind to something, she usually achieves it.
I've loved every moment of this competition, even the low points. The low points make the highs all the sweeter. So, you know, it's all part of it, and it's just been the best opportunity I've ever had in my life, so.
I would hate not to win this competition. I want to win this competition. I have to cook better, cook harder, cook like I've never cooked in my life before. And I really want it.
My sole focus today is to enjoy it, because this is the last chance I'll get to do this. That's what I'm focusing on. So I haven't really thought about winning, losing or drawing. I've just kept that to the side, and that's been my approach the whole way through the competition. Regardless of what happens today, I feel like I've won my own personal battle anyway.
I've a really good feeling about the final. I was having dreams last night about having my trophy sitting on a mantelpiece in a house that I don't even own. So yeah, I've got this whole picture perfect thing.
We're looking for brilliance today. I want to eat something great, not just something good, something really great. And with all of the influence and all of the tasks and all of the direction that we've given them, they should really be able to generate that, because they all have the talent.
It's going to be, I think, a tough call today. I mean, everyone is really sort of come out fighting. Everyone wants the title of MasterChef, and they're really going to show us something quite extraordinary today.
You can't afford anything to go wrong today. You can't afford to have a bad day today. This is not the day to have a bad day.
After all these weeks, have you changed your opinion on what makes a great amateur cook?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've learned a lot in the last more than a couple of weeks. Very often a chef will cook someone else's food and will spend their whole career cooking someone else's food, but there has to come a day when that chef cooks his own food or her own food. So therefore, whatever's deep inside them has to come out. And then their character starts to flourish and their product starts to either be good or bad. And I think with the guys is that we are looking for that in such a short space of time that if you actually don't have that inside you, you're not going to get very far. So you need to be really talented. We've looked very hard to nurture that talent to see who has that. That's the winner of MasterChef.
After 6 pressurised weeks, Ireland's top 3 amateur chefs are about to receive their final challenge.
Guys, the end is in sight. Anyone can lift the title. Ireland's very first MasterChef champion. It would be one hell of an achievement, wouldn't it?
Whoever's going to win this competition needs to want it more than the other two, and they really need to cook from the heart. This is 3 courses in 3 hours. We want dishes that are ultimately going to make our decision easy.
So for the last time in this series, let's cook.
Mike, Mary and Bridin have each designed their very own 3-course menu. Inspired by the last 6 weeks, they now just have 3 hours to prepare it for Dylan and Nick. It will be their final chance to cook in the MasterChef kitchen, and so the pressure is on to prove that they're worthy of being crowned champion.
The key to the success, I think, today is not to overcomplicate the dish, and it's that taste. You know, you want everything to work together, you know, and it's that plate of food that you get and you think, oh, I just don't want to stop eating.
That doesn't just come from hard work. It doesn't come from reading recipes.
No,
it doesn't come from, you know, watching every cooking program under the sun. That comes from, it's either in you or it's not.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And there's a passion for that. It's like nearly like a sense that you can't see. We've seen flashes of it in certain individuals. Have we seen it consistently throughout a meal yet? No.
No.
No. If we see it today, that's MasterChef.
Yeah. Guys, you've had half an hour already. That's half an hour up.
This final is just the biggest ever, and now the goal is in sight. You know, I think I've created a really, really interesting 3 courses for the meal. This is food that I love, this is food that I've created, influences of my life put into this food, and I just want to do it right.
So, what are you cooking for us today?
I'm going to do a confit of salmon, a bit of fennel salad on it, a fillet of beef, beetroot paint, duxella mushrooms, shallot tartatan, and for dessert, a real summer light, a brunoise, like a mosaic of summer fruits.
Very nice. So tell us, Mike, have you changed much in the competition?
Yeah, I think the big difference is not rushing into things too much. Watch the components and get them better. But as well as that, it's the balance, not only with tastes and textures, but it's the quantities on the plate. The whole dish has to be balanced in multiple ways.
And your beef is Irish?
Everything is
It's
Irish.
Irish, very good.
Everything is Irish. Irish food, we have it.
We have it all?
Yeah.
We have it all.
Good luck, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Taking inspiration from Dylan's confit of rabbit belly, Mike's salmon starter will also be prepared in a vacuum-packed bag with oil, then cooked in a water bath. It is vital that he times the cooking perfectly so as to achieve the desired results.
What we're looking for is a piece of salmon that looks like a raw piece, but has the texture of a cooked piece. It sounds great.
True, I know, it sounds wonderful.
Sounds really
but
great.
you really, I can almost taste it now, you know.
really-
But knowing Mike, it might just go overboard.
If at this stage Mike is going to put some lame piece of something on there just because it looks nice, then he'll pay for it. Okay, guys, we're halfway through now, so you have an hour and a half left. 1 hour and a half left.
Mary's 3-course menu includes a warm lobster salad with flavours of apple for starters, squab pigeon for her mains, and an elaborate dessert with foam, jelly, meringue and granita.
My experience in the Michelin-starred kitchen has definitely changed my approach to what I'm cooking in the final. I learned new techniques. It's been fantastic. So on my dishes today, I'm hoping to take relatively simple flavours and just bring a bit of refinement to them. You know, I took my ideas and I just, you know, tried to elevate them to a different level. So it will take time, but I think it should pay dividends.
The menu today, you happy with it?
Yeah, well, it's food I love, and I kind of took inspiration from, you know, my mum. The first time I ever had lobster, my mum served it with apple and creme fraiche, so I decided to take that and use it as inspiration.
Brilliant.
So it's just trying to take food I like and just make it a little bit different.
That's what it's all about, Mary.
I need to get back to it, though. Yeah, thank you.
Mary, what do you think of her dishes?
Well, I actually liked them as soon as I saw them on the menu. I think they seem very exciting. I think that she's going to bring a bit of fun back into her cooking.
I think it sounds fabulous. I'm looking forward to it. But there's a level of perfection that I want to see today from Mary's cooking. I mean, even though we loved the langoustine pappardelle with the quail eggs, she just didn't have any sort of skill to the degree that I expect her to have today.
I've a really good feeling about the final, and I just want to, what I want more than anything, even if I don't win, is that I go in and the guys for the first time say, wow, you know, that's really, really good food. Because I haven't heard that yet. You know, I haven't heard 100%. You know, I've heard, oh yeah, elements are good and excellent or whatever, but to hand up dishes where they go, okay, that's the different level. That's what I need to hear today, and I'm confident that the dishes I'm doing today will be to that standard.
I'm making very much Irish-inspired dishes today. Love seafood, so for my starter I'm doing scallops and razor clams, which are an interesting Irish produce that I think are underutilised. Then for mains, again, sticking with the Irish fare, I'm going with an assiette of Irish lamb. And then for dessert, I will be doing a fantastic fruity zesty dish, which isn't Irish, but I think it represents me and my travels and trying something new.
Now tell us, have you changed much since the start of the competition?
I've changed a lot.
Have you?
Absolutely. I suppose it's kind of one of those competitions that's broken me down and got me back up again. But now I feel I belong here. So there's 6 weeks of phenomenal, intense experience, plus a lifetime of me that's going to go on these plates.
Okay. Well, we look forward to tasting that.
Great. Good.
And your menu sounds great. So
I love my menu. Yeah. Absolutely love it. Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thank you, guys. Thanks very much.
Okay, you got 30 minutes left.
Bridin, she's certainly very determined.
Very determined, you know, you can see that, and it's great to see, you know, she really does love cooking.
I didn't think she was trying to keep it as Irish as she is, but it really is, you know, a very native dish.
I never had thought that we would see this level of cooking. I think it's refreshing, I think it's exciting to see that.
What we have today is 3 amateur cooks cooking their hearts out in the kitchen with all Irish produce. You know, I just think it's great to see as a chef. I think it's great to see.
It's encouraging, isn't it?
It shows that Ireland, in some foodie way, is getting a sense of itself. That's got to be a good thing. It kind of makes you kind of proud.
Today it was the most comfortable I've felt cooking in this competition yet, weirdly. I'm organised and I've learned to look ahead and think ahead, and it worked today.
Are you going to get it done in time, Mike?
I'm pushing myself as hard as I can. I've got the biggest tasks done over the last 2 hours. It's just getting all the components together and I get my trays set up. So hopefully when service comes, boom, boom, boom.
Thanks. Is that a yes?
Is it a yes?
Sounds like a yes.
Let's get it.
Sounds like a yes.
Yeah, sounds like Mike.
Okay, guys, 10 minutes left.
So no pressure at all, really, let's face it.
Good one.
All I want to do is go in and cook the food as I have practiced it. As long as I've plated the food as I had imagined it, I'll feel like I've won. That's the most important thing to me.
How are you coping?
Good, getting on. And just trying to stay focused. And
are you going to get it done in time?
Yes, chef.
You sure?
Yeah.
I'm actually not concerned about Mike and Mary. I have to make sure that I keep my nerve, I keep things under control, and if I perform well, then I don't need to worry about the competition.
Are you getting on okay?
Good, yeah, not a bother. Just doing my clams now.
Are you going to finish in time?
Yes, no problem. You'll get your dinner tonight.
With just 5 minutes left, the final 3 MasterChef contestants must cook for their lives.
Guys, you are out of time. Will you please stop cooking?
It was really, really tough. I had so much left to do in the last hour. I had to put my lamb on while my starter was going on, and I just couldn't monitor it well enough. And it was just undercooked. I was really, like, it's just the main element of the dish, and I didn't want to walk away from today with what ifs, and unfortunately I have one big what if, which is a real, it's very upsetting, really.
I don't know if what I put up today is good enough to win. I'm waiting to hear what the judges thought of it. So I think that'll tell me. But you know what? I'm happy with it. The 3 dishes I put out today were probably the 3 best looking dishes I've ever cooked in my life.
That went fine. I think it was just the pressure of the day. Just little things went wrong. I'm just a little bit disappointed myself.
First to present her 3-course dinner to Dylan and Nick is Bridin.
Okay, gentlemen, here are your starters.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Bridin's Summer by the Sea starter is dressed razor clams with deep-fried salt cod, crab fritter and a pan-seared scallop topped with dullis, accompanied by a garlic aioli.
It's really good, isn't it?
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, no,
I'm really enjoying it. The difference in what she's done today is amazing.
It's a big step up for her.
Cakes are amazing, aren't they? Really lovely and tasty.
I really like that.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Crab's nice and crunchy, loads of dullis on top of the scallop, and it's just like as if she's used the dullis just like a little bit of salt.
Yeah, just
Bits of clams not overcooked, it's nice and creamy.
I love it. It's just the right balance, isn't it? It's exciting, isn't it?
It is by far the best thing that she's cooked yet.
I mean, who would have thought 6 weeks ago she'd be presenting you with this dish in the final?
It's very good.
It's a winner, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
After a successful starter, can Bridin impress with her assiette of Irish lamb, pan-seared rack in a herb crumb, served with summer vegetables, a garlic puree, some lamb jus, caramelised sweetbreads and a side of Irish lamb stew?
I love the lamb. I think it's cooked really nice.
What do you think of your stew?
Yeah, it's very thin. I was expecting something more saucy and a bit more reduced.
Quite nice flavour though, isn't it?
She's kind of relying on classical marriages. This has been done before. This is not her invention. But it is something that is done very well.
Seat bread. Could have been a bit more caramelised, but I think it tastes very nice. It goes with it.
Yeah, and the puree tastes great. The garlic puree.
Nice
presentation is nice.
I think she's done very well. I can't believe how light it is. Actually, it's not heavy at all. It's really nice on the palate.
It's very accomplished, isn't it? It's a very high standard for her. She's never produced anything like this.
I'm very happy with that dish.
With one final dish to present, is Bridin confident in her last course?
I was really happy with the dessert. It is a gorgeous dish. It tastes amazing. I love it. So we'll wait and see what the guys think.
For her final dish on MasterChef, Bridin has made a blackcurrant and elderflower sorbet, orange shortbread biscuits topped with sumac dust, and a passion fruit panna cotta.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it does.
I think that's very good. Lovely flavoured passion fruit. Sorbet is fantastic.
The panna cotta is really nice.
I think that's a lovely dessert.
I think the elderflower could be a little stronger. And the orange should come through on the shortbread just a little bit more. I mean, she's cooked brilliantly. She really has. Just, I'm not sure why bringing elderflower and passion fruit together. Well, it's got to belong. It's got to do, you know, something for each other. But I do think this is really good.
I think it's excellent. It's very light. It's actually refreshing. Actually, out of the 3, this is my favourite.
I needed to pull out every trick and get it right 100% today if I was going to stand a chance. We'll wait and see. It depends. It does depend on what the other 2 guys do. I don't know. There's always a chance. There's always a chance.
After 3 hours of cooking in the MasterChef final, it's Mike's turn to present his 3-course meal.
I'm proud of the dishes I put up. I'd like the starter to be a bit more pretty. You know, fingers crossed the flavours are there. You know, I've worked to put them in there and hopefully they're there.
For his starter, Mike has made confit of wild Atlantic Irish salmon with a fennel and chive salad, garnished with clementine segments, salmon eggs, creme fraiche and chive oil.
Presentation is amazing, isn't it?
You know, it's very nice.
Looking forward to this one. That wasn't what I was expecting.
I was expecting this to be sharper.
I was expecting it to be really acidic.
Mm-hmm. It's quite oily, isn't it?
It's very oily. Oh, that's
such an oily fish.
There's no lightness there now. It's very oily.
I do like how delicate it is. I do like how delicate it looks. The salmon, he's cooked that pretty wonderfully in terms of it being inside the bag and poaching it. You see how it nearly has the texture of being raw?
I just find that it's a bit sour. There's no sort of sweetness to it.
It has fallen down in terms of flavour, but technically it is a MasterChef dish.
Yeah, it is a MasterChef dish, but I want to be wowed by my taste buds, and I'm not being wowed.
It's unfortunate, because he's done so much right, and it's brilliant in comparison to what he's done to date. But the flavour just isn't there.
After a shaky start, can Mike now win the judges back with his main dish of fillet of beef served with a shallot tarte tatin on a bed of broad beans, a mushroom truffle duxelle with a crispy pancake, beetroot paint and a veal Madeira jus.
It looks brilliant. Beef is cooked perfectly.
He knows how to cook a tartare, doesn't he? Let's face it. The beef is beautiful.
Yeah, no, the beef is really good.
I think it's a great effort. The plate of food looks just wow, in all fairness.
Yeah, no, it looks really, really strong. The beetroot, he hasn't put too much on it. It is coming through.
You can definitely see he's been influenced, he's learnt a lot.
But everything is relevant, you know? Like, I mean, the mushrooms, the pancake, the shallot, the beef. It's very hard to fault this. This is a professional dish.
I'm not comparing. You can see it looks like a professional dish. To plate this up in the final is a huge achievement.
It's confirmed his place in the competition. Everything tastes great, everything is seasoned great, everything is cooked perfectly, and it's got a little bit of Mike in it all. So he really has affirmed that he has to be taken serious in the competition and that he's here to win.
Yeah, it's a great dish.
The dessert was quite tricky because it's just the way it was presented. I have 3 different types of peaches with 3 different colours and strawberries, and they all had to be cut into very fine cubes and all the exact same size to make a mosaic circle. So, you know, that was the kind of stages of the meal that I wanted to design. He finished the meal refreshed and not full.
Mike has made a brunoise of summer fruits with raspberries, strawberries and peaches, a disc of raspberry jelly and a quenelle of white chocolate mousse, surrounded by a soup of gold leaf, mint and Moscato d'Asti wine.
It's very pretty, Nick, doesn't it?
It looks $1 million.
It's really good, isn't it?
It's good, yeah.
I love the texture of the mousse. And he's just got his quenelle right at last. The raspberry jelly tastes great. And the peaches, I can smell the freshness of the peaches coming up off the plate. This is really like, you know, he has really cooked his heart out today. He's done exactly what the brief said. I haven't seen food like this from anyone in the competition yet.
This is the type of food that makes me smile. The white chocolate mousse is just so delicate and light. It just flows with the fruit and the syrup, and everything just works perfectly. It's perfect harmony. It's that taste sensation in your mouth, isn't it?
It's not just about the individual dishes, it's the menu as a whole is just
I have to say, yeah,
fabulous.
It just flows perfect. It's light, and it's just great, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's really good.
Yeah,
I've got to say, he's a really strong player. He's came from nowhere in some respects. He really has. He's picked up an awful lot more than we've given him credit for.
And he's pulled it off. I think it's brilliant.
I think all the skills we've got through the whole competition have really come out today. 6 weeks ago, I would have been shaking everywhere, you know, trying to cook this food. But I just feel so relaxed and comfortable within the environment. And today was a challenge, but I really enjoyed it. You know, what a journey to get to the final. You know, I'm happy to go home now. Happier if I win.
And finally, it's Mary's turn to present her 3 courses.
The starter was lobster. Unfortunately, I think I may have undercooked the lobster a little bit. And then there was the apple disc that the creme fraiche was sitting on was slightly soggy. But, you know, you live and learn. And, you know, these things happen.
Mary's starter is a warm lobster salad with parsnip crisps, discs of compressed apple, topped with lime-flavoured creme fraiche and apple gel, and garnishes of apple batons, pea shoots and micro coriander.
Looks too good to eat, doesn't it?
No, it looks beautiful.
It looks
light.
absolutely stunning.
Yeah.
Food. I'll be honest. For me, personally, I think the creme fraiche kills it. It looks brilliant, but I get the lobster, the oil, and an apple, but that's about it. And then the creme fraiche just kills it.
I feel that to bring that dish together, parsnips, lime, and apple is a huge achievement. I think it looks very pretty. I think it is very pretty. I think it tastes very well. It's seasoned very well. It's a very high standard of cooking. Probably some of the highest standard of cooking that we've seen in the competition so far. The lime with the apple, with the parsnips, it's not something that is put together every day. I mean, we've all done cauliflower and cheese, and all of the things that Mary's done to date have all got mothers and fathers. They're all classics. This is moving off in a different direction. This is very brave.
See, I still think back to Mary's pappardelle and the langoustines. I thought for me.
That's a classical marriage.
Yeah, I like
That's standing on the shoulders of giants, as they say. That's people who have gone before you who have done it. This is something new. So I think that's... it's certainly controversial. It's certainly a controversial starter.
For her main course, Mary has made squab pigeon with a truffle honey glaze, served on a bed of pea puree, a walnut and black pudding crumb, braised spring onions, crispy bacon, pan-fried pigeon livers, a pigeon jus, and borage flowers to garnish.
The dish looks wonderful, doesn't it?
Beautiful. Beautifully presented.
Yeah.
Pea puree is excellent.
Yeah?
Excellent.
I really like these flavours.
It's a stunning dish. Beautifully done. I think the puree is a knockout. The sauce is a knockout.
It looks wild, it looks elegant, it looks very modern.
I love it. There's textures, there's balance, there's flavouring, there's seasoning. You know, she's cooked her heart out.
The balance of the dishes are a dish of this maturity, a dish that's been really thought out and really worked at and just executed so well. I didn't think we would see grown-up dishes like this from amateur cooks.
I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Do we like this then?
We like this.
Yeah, that's a really good dish.
That is a great dish.
And Mary's final dish served on MasterChef will be her summer berry plate.
They were beautiful dishes, like I think they were lovely. But whether they showed the finesse that was required, just whether they were absolutely spot on, I don't know.
Mary has made Italian meringues placed among piped yoghurt and elderflower foam, a raspberry and white wine jelly, strawberry puree, blueberry granita, and garnished with micro basil and mint leaves, blueberries, raspberries, and strawberry flowers.
I tell you what, I'm absolutely blown away by it. It's actually like a painting.
Let's see what it tastes like.
Too afraid to go into it.
It's really good, isn't it?
I didn't think I could be surprised anymore about this today. The flavours are absolutely divine, aren't they?
You just want to finish it.
All these explosions is just absolutely amazing. That is just top drawer.
It's really good, it's really fresh, it's really clean, it looks beautiful. And then she's hidden her meringue, so it looks a bit like the yogurt, so you think you've got something soft, but then you've got something hard. For me, it is a real winner. And it's
absolutely stunning.
The perfect way to end a phenomenal 3 courses.
Completely.
It's just, it's a different level.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to put this on actually in my restaurant's menu, do that.
Are you?
I absolutely love it.
Do you think you'll be able to do it?
I'll get somebody who knows. Didn't like that, did you?
You know, maybe I have done enough. You know, the dishes were interesting. They were very, very tasty. You know, I think they were different. They definitely were different, and I put my heart and soul into them.
Bridin, Mike and Mary, Ireland's top 3 amateur chefs, have given everything they have over the last 6 weeks, culminating in the last few hours. It is now down to Dylan and Nick to decide who will be crowned champion.
Dylan, who would have thought 6 weeks ago that we'd be looking at 3 exceptional amateur cooks? I mean, it's fantastic to see.
Any of these 3 can be a worthy winner.
Yeah, but there can only be one winner.
I want to win this. This would mean so much. You know, what a journey, the sacrifice, everything I've challenged myself to learn, to grow. To win this would just be such an honour. It just, wow.
It is really about today. You know, that's the way the competition has gone so far. You're only as good as your last meal. And that was my last meal. So, you know, it wasn't too good. The mains just wasn't good enough.
My dad, he picked me up from, I was doing my Leaving Cert art exam, and I told him I thought I'd got a D, and I thought I'd failed. I did so awfully. And then I got an A1 in art. So I have a tendency to be very, very hard on myself. So you never know. There's always hope.
Guys, on behalf of myself and Dylan, we really want to thank you for your hard work today, and you should really be all proud of yourselves. You did a phenomenal job, and very well done. But we can only have one winner.
So the very first ever MasterChef Ireland champion is Mary.
Well done, Mary.
Oh my gosh!
You're mad.
Congratulations.
Of course you won. You're brilliant.
Oh my God, thank you.
Brilliant, I got to do everything that this competition had to offer, and fair enough, I had to bow out in the end, but very graciously to Mary. I think she's just a legend personally, and as a cook or a chef, she's just been a fantastic person to be around. She's really humble and she's a real talent, so delighted for her.
I can't believe it.
Mary really deserved to win. Just consistently brilliant throughout the whole competition. You know, I've always said I'd be happy getting to this stage, and I'm thrilled. I have learned so much on this journey. It's going to take me weeks or months to try and work it out in my head. It's just been a phenomenal roller coaster.
I really didn't think that this was going to happen. I didn't think I'd get past the first round, so... Really? Yeah, I was really, I'm absolutely overwhelmed.
You deserve it. You've done a fantastic job. And you cooked your heart out today, which is exactly what you were asked to do. Sure, but there.
Fair love.
Well done.
Can you believe it? You look a bit... You look more shocked than I do.
Right. Oh, I love it. Well done.
Thanks, like...
After 6 grueling weeks, we have our winner.
My name's Mary.
You're exactly what this competition is looking for. So for me, it's a definite yes.
Absolutely fantastic.
Wow.
It's the best. It's the dish of the day. Fantastic stuff.
Without a doubt.
I think I do want it more than ever, really, because I'm going through this in order to pursue something I really, really want to do. The night before the competition started, I was going to back out. I got panicked and I just went, no, I'm not good enough, and I mean, I can't do this.
It is just stunning. It's at a level I haven't seen in the competition yet. I can't say enough how proud I am of you. That is just great.
All through my career, you get very few, as your junior, that are what I call a natural cook. And then right in front of us, I think we've got a natural cook.
Yeah.
Mary, I love you.
That shows a higher learning, and nobody taught you that. That's kind of in you, or it's not.
I've eaten in Chapter 1 a long time, and I'd say that's one of the better dishes I've eaten. It was beautiful.
So, well done, team. Thanks very much. I think Mary showed us all what can be done if we really put our minds to it.
I don't think I can't even really put it into words what I feel like, what I feel. Just when you say that now, being crowned the first, that just, it's kind of overwhelming. I think that I can go on to do something in food now. I just need to figure out what that exactly is. But I'll do that tomorrow, once this is over. I'll start thinking about it. I cannot believe it. Oh.